Hello, my name is Hans George Campbell, and today I wanted to show you these Amstrad PCW 8256 computers that I recently picked up. The Amstrad PCW series is a range of personal computers produced by British company Amstrad from 1985 to 1998. 8 million units were sold. The CPU is a Z80 processor running at 4 MHz. The computer comes with 256 KB memory installed. There are IC sockets on the motherboard for installing more memory. The operating system is CPM+. Many programs and games are available for the system. A Gotek USB floppy drive is also available. The Amstrad PCW computers were popular in Europe, but they are rare in the United States, especially in like-new condition. Okay, I thought it would be interesting to show you the difference, or the differences, between a 3-inch disc and the standard 3.5-inch disc. The 3-inch disc is on the left-hand side, and the standard 3.5-inch disc is on the right-hand side. The main differences between the two, I think the 3-inch disc is better constructed. I think it's better quality, higher quality, but it doesn't hold as much as the 3.5-inch disc. But another nice thing about the 3-inch disc is that it's a flippy. It's a single-sided disc, but you can flip the disc. And each side has its own shutter that you can open and close to write protect the, or write enable each side. So I think that's pretty cool. And each one comes with its own protective plastic case, sort of like what your audio cassettes come in, you know, a case similar to that. So I think that's pretty cool too. So I can understand why the industry, they went toward the 3.5, because it was cheaper. They can make more profit. The disc was cheaper to make than the 3-inch. You know, the 3-inch was definitely higher quality, and that's why the market went toward the 3.5-inch disc. But yeah, I thought I'd show you a comparison between the two discs. Okay, here are the two manuals for the system. I just wanted to show you a close-up view of these two manuals, because a lot of people, they've never seen these manuals before, so I thought I'd show a close-up view of the two manuals that come with the system. Okay, I recently got these computers from a guy on Craigslist. I saw his ad on Craigslist. He had a nice picture of the one unit, and he was selling 2 complete systems, just like this, like what you see here, because I have another complete system behind me on the shelf. But he sold 2 of these. He wanted $150 for everything, for both systems. And I thought that was a pretty good deal. I mean, at first I thought it was just a word processor, because it says Amstrad Personal Word Processor. But then, after watching Perry Fractic on his YouTube channel, Retro Recipes. This happens to be one of his favorite vintage computers. In fact, this was the very first computer that he used when he was a kid. You know, he remembered when his father bought one of these to use for his work. And then Perifractic found out back then, when he was a kid, that there was a lot of great games for this system. And so he has fond memories of playing on one of these Amstrad PCW 8256s, playing a lot of games and stuff on them, you know. And so he still has that computer, and he shows it on his YouTube channel. In fact, he's done several videos about these computers. And that's how I found out about this, because I didn't even know these existed, because they're very popular. Well, they were very popular in Europe, but they're rare here in the United States. These were not sold much here in the United States, so they're rare in this country. And so I thought it was an unusual computer. I thought it was a nice looking computer, but unusual. It has a disk drive built into the CRT, and it has a typical high resolution 80 column green display. It's got a really nice keyboard. The keyboard has a real nice feel to it. You could tell this is vintage. You know, you can tell this is an old computer because the keyboard feels like it's mechanical. Very nice keyboard. The keycaps were probably dual-shotted, you know, double-shotted, you know. So the graphics on top of the keys will never wear out because they're actually a darker colored plastic that has been molded into the lighter colored plastic keycaps. And that's how they did things back then. You know, it's called double shot, that technique. But anyway, the Amstrad PCW 8256, it uses these 3-inch discs, which I thought was unusual. I never even heard of a 3-inch disc. I mean, I'm used to 3.5-inch discs. That became the standard soon after this computer was released, you know. But I kind of like these 3-inch compact floppy disks. They're single-sided, but they're flippies. And they're made a lot like a zip disk, like a Zip 100 disk. They're very durable. They come in a nice case. And they're double-sided, they're flippies. I mean, they're single-sided, but they're flippies. You can flip them. And they have a Write Protect tab for each side, a plastic Write Protect tab for each side. And they're actually very nice discs. They have a stainless steel shutter to protect the actual disc. And I thought that was nice. I kind of wish that these would have became the standard instead of the 3.5-inch disc, because I think these are nice. They're very nice, good quality. But we know, you know, that the 3.5-inch disc became the norm as far as micro floppy disks. The computer, the Amstrad PCW 8256, was marketed to replace the electric typewriters of that time period. Electric typewriters were actually very expensive, so these were aimed at businesses to replace their electric typewriters with an actual word processor that also happens to be a Z80 computer, you know. And so these computers, all of these computers that were sold, also came with the printer. Oh yeah, because it's meant to replace your electric typewriter. And these sold for at about 25% of the cost of your typical IBM PC of that time period. And so businesses were, you know, especially small businesses, bought a lot of these because they're a lot cheaper than, they're like a quarter the cost of an IBM PC, you know, like an 8088 processor-based PC. They sold for $1,100, whereas an IBM PC back then, an 8088 based processor IBM PC back then sold for a little over $4,000. So if you were using a computer mainly for word processing or spreadsheet or database, this was a perfect choice. It had a high resolution 80 column green screen, very crisp, very clean display. And so a lot of businesses over in Europe, they bought these, you know. They were very popular in Europe. I was surprised when I found out that there were a lot of games that came, that was released for the Amstrad PCW 8256 and also the 8512. Okay? There was a lot of games that were released, popular games from back then that were released for this system on these 3-inch compact floppy disks. And a lot of those games, they look very nice on this high-resolution 80-column green display. They really do. A good example would be Fairlight, the Batman game, the Infocom text adventure games, of course, would look good on this. You know, but a lot of your games, especially games that were they were like at a 45-degree angle, like perspective, and you're walking around and they're basically line drawing graphics or whatever. Those looked really impressive on this display. And I'm going to be showing a lot of those games in a future episode, so stay tuned for that. There is a GoTech option available for this computer. There's a guy on eBay, he sells a very nice package. I'm going to be buying one to put in this system. He sells a nice package. It takes the place of this drive here. So what I'm going to do is, this plate is removable. It just pops in, this nameplate here. It just pops out. I'm going to move this drive down here. Okay? And then I'm going to put the GoTech drive up here. And it comes with a nice little display, okay, so you can read what, as you're pressing your buttons to move up and down your menu, it actually shows you what disk you're on, you know. And included with the GoTech drive, with the custom-made mount for these computers, okay, are all the games that were released for this system on a memory stick, a little small memory stick that plugs into the GoTech drive. That's all included for $80 plus your shipping. And I think that's a very good deal. And trust me, there were a lot of nice games that were available for this computer. Now, like I said before, I got 2 of these. Both of them in similar condition, like new condition. They're not yellowed, and they're in really nice shape. The keyboard's nice and clean. The whole thing looks like it's never even been used. Of course, the guy that I got these from, he had custom-made covers on the computer, the keyboard, and the printer. See, he kept them covered for all these years. And the same thing with the second one that I have behind me. Now, this one I'm going to keep. But the second one, which is in a similar condition, I want to sell that one. And I'm thinking about selling it for only $300. And you get the dust covers, custom-made dust covers with them. You get the manuals, the manual for the personal word processor. You get everything, you know, for only $300. And I think that's a good price. And plus you got to pay for the shipping. So if you want my second one of these that I have, just let me know. I'm going to include my contact information in the description of this video so you can get a hold of me. And we can talk shop, you know, we can discuss payment. I accept PayPal, you know. Another one I'm selling for $300, plus you got to pay for shipping. But it's a very nicely made computer, and in a future episode I'm actually going to take this one apart because I want to recap it. And like I said, I want to move this drive. I want to remove this nameplate. It just pops off. I want to move this drive down here, and I want to install the GoTech drive option up here. and then I want to show you guys how that all works. So stay tuned for that episode. You know, I think that's going to be a good episode. But yeah. So now let's turn on this computer. I want to show you how it all works and show you what it looks like, the green screen and everything. Now, I don't have any games or anything at the moment, but I do have the original CPM Plus system software, and I've got the word processor that comes with this computer. So at least you get to see what it looks like powered up. Okay. So we're going to do that next.